All right. So, hi everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Just trying to get my Instagram going here. But in the meantime, hi, happy Friday.
Yay! Even though we work on the weekends. That's all right. We got to do what we have to do for business.
Fridays mean nothing to us in real estate.
Right. I used to be in the restaurant business. There was no such thing. When people said happy Friday, I'm like,
exactly. Like Friday.
That's actually our money maker. So we got to do what we got to do.
Right?
Yeah.
So guys, welcome to another one of our Friday Talks. Thank you so much for joining. For those of you who will be watching now, please remember to leave us a hashtag live now. And for those of you who will be watching later on, leave us a hashtag replay later on. I have my good friend with me again today. His name, you may know by now, is Joey Kosinki. And he is a phenomenal title agent who I have the pleasure of working with. And our last conversation that we had was just really so good. And so we've decided that we're going to be doing a lot more with Joey, just to inform the public about the different aspects of title, what is involved, what are some things that you need to know about, and things that will help you in your real estate goals as you look forward to owning your own home.
And we were also thinking about we'll brainstorming of different classes, or not necessarily classes, but maybe terms or something that if you want to know about a term or something, feel free to let us know, and we'll be happy to get back to you, or even have a discussion like this about certain things, like what we're going to do today.
Absolutely. And Joey is phenomenal when it comes on to connecting with people. Hey Sandrine, thanks for joining. He's really knowledgeable about the title, the aspect of title, and what to be, what to inform the public about. So his information is on the screen right now. You can always take a picture of it, call him anytime within reasonable hours, of course. And he is,
if you call me at 11 o'clock at night, I'm sleeping, but that's okay. When it's 6 a.m, I'll call you back when I wake up.
Trust me, you will. So we are on location at the First International Title Office in Weston. And again, it just goes to show you, like, they're all over the place. So don't think that because, you may be in Orlando or Key West or whatever, that you can't connect with Joey. They have offices throughout.
We have 35 offices throughout the state of Florida. So doesn't matter where you're at. We can close if you're not near an office. And I will go ahead and come out to you and close, or we could send a notary. Make it simple.
Right. So thank you again for all those who are watching. Please remember, leave me a hashtag live if you're watching now, and if you're watching later on, leave us a hashtag replay. So Joey, talk to us a little bit about some of the liens that people need to know about, some of the liens that you've come across, and just give us the basic idea of what is important as far as those
right. There are different types of lien. The first one that I would like to talk about is, a regular lien. When we do a lien search, a lot of times a contractor, well, not a lot, most of the time, a contractor, when they come in to do work on a property and they don't get paid in full, they're going to put a lien on the property. A lien puts this contractor on the property, and if these people do not pay this contractor, they can't sell the property until this is paid for. Now, mind you, it doesn't mean that they're going to get the money right away. Right. They may think, okay, maybe 2 years from now. But when these people go to sell the property, they have that lien on the property.
Right.
And they cannot sell it unless it's paid for. There's a couple of different ways. When we do a title search, the title search will show the liens on the property. Give an example. If somebody redid the kitchen, you have a beautiful kitchen, or you didn't pay that person, you say, I'll get away with it. Come time to sell, it's going to show up. So this is the work that we do. So the buyer or seller doesn't have to run around, mostly the buyer, because the seller let the lien go. But we will take care of that. We will contact the contractor. and make sure that the lien is cleared. If the seller does not have the funds to pay this contractor, we could take it out at the closing. So whatever the proceeds are from the closing, and we do all the paperwork for the closing, then we deduct it from what will be paid, and make it very simple.
So pretty much like when you're doing a renovation on your home, it's really important for you guys to find reputable contractors to work with. And you want to make sure that you keep abreast of the scope of work, just everything that you're doing, so that you are very familiar with the things that are expected of that contractor, so that you don't find yourself in a situation where, I've heard about it, where people have found themselves in situations where the contractor puts a lien on their home, and you may think, oh, this is just this person wanting their money, whatever. It is this person wanting their money, but that person has the authority based on that lien to be, like Joey says, to prevent you from selling your home. And that, slows down the process. You want to make sure that you know what's going on with your home.
And it's super important, get that contractor's lien off. And then sometimes it may be a case where they just didn't take that lien off of the property and it's paid for, but that's for us to take care of. Everything will show, it will show on the title commitment, all the liens for a property, which we take care of. We share the title commitment with the buyers, and they say, oh my God, that's our job. That's our job, is to clear everything. Okay. And then there's a couple other type of liens we could talk about also. What
are some other types of liens that you've come across or that you know about that are important for our buyers to know?
Important is a municipal lien search.
Okay.
So municipal meaning the city that you're in or the town that you're in will do a search to see if, for instance, the water bill's up to date.
Okay.
I've come across properties that have hundreds and hundreds of dollars of the water bill, and it's not paid off, and I don't know why they didn't turn it off. Using their neighbor's hose, but so it's important to make sure that when we do a municipal lien search, the water bill is up to date. There are going to be times where maybe between the billing cycle there may be like a $20, $30 bill due. In a case like that, the realtors reach out to each other and have it taken care of, and the sellers are always really good. And a municipal lien search will also show open permits on the property. Now, I want to back up just a smidge here. When we do a municipal lien search, this is not a title issue. We can close with an open permit, or
you can close.
Right. But we let these parties know, hey, this is not a title issue, but this is an open permit. And then you want it closed before we close.
Right, because if you don't take care of it before closing, it becomes your problem when you close.
Exactly. And there's certain issues, say an HOA, for instance, and I'm kind of jumping around here.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Thanks. But to give an example, when you go into an HOA, we do we request an estoppel letter. Estoppel, I always, my big joke is it sounds like a German mafia or something.
It does sound German.
But we get an estoppel that shows all of the liens on the property, any violations on the property, and we will not close unless the liens on the property from the HOA are taken care of. Sometimes an HOA there's violations on a property. Most common one is their roof needs to be cleaned. We can close, but they signed a hold harmless.
Okay, and what is the hold harmless?
I don't know. No, just kidding. I had to throw that in. I haven't thrown in too many funnies today. A hold harmless is something that the seller and buyer sign, holds them harmless, and we're not responsible.
Okay.
So we can't close, but there's been times where people say it's a Thursday and they have to be out of their house over the weekend by Monday, and the seller's out of town, so they're like, well, how do we close this? We do a hold harmless, and maybe that's maybe a time for negotiation again, because they're going to have to pay somebody to clean the roof or what have you.
Interesting.
So yeah, I actually learned that a few years ago. I'm like, oh, what are we going to do? These poor people are going to be stuck. A hold harmless.
So is there a way, like, as a buyer, well, or maybe let's look at the seller part of it first. As a seller, if you're going to sell your home, is there a way that you can check on these potential liens before you list your home?
You can do we can do a lien search on the property. They should know if there's a lien, but as far as like any open permits, a municipal lien, that's public record. Right. So they can find out that. And I have a good example of a friend that's selling his home by owner, and he did all this research. He checked on liens, everything, the municipal liens and so forth, just so when they close, everything's cleared free. Okay. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say that I'm glad you said that, because paperwork is crucial. If you have a contractor who's working on your home, having that paperwork with all your receipts to show that you've already paid everything, even if there was a lien on the property, that you've paid off that lien. So, if, like Joey said, the contractor didn't close that lien, then you still have your paperwork to show, hey, I paid, it just needs to be removed. Right. And just having different kinds of paperwork, whether it's with your HOA, any kind of, if you're going to sell your home or doing anything in life, really, paperwork is crucial.
I love it. I didn't even think of that, but that's so true. It's like, anything that you do, when I do repairs and so forth, I keep all of my receipts. I even have my birth certificate, which reminds me how young I am. But that's a great point.
That's really, that's good to know. That's good to know.
But yeah, keep those receipts definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you think of in terms of liens? I'm sure there are tons of liens, first of all. So this is not the be all and end all of liens for those of you who are listening. It's just us giving us, basic ideas of types of liens that exist, that Joey has encountered, that I've heard of, because thank God, knock on wood, I've not had a deal that has had a lien issue.
Buckle up. But we take care of that. Yes. We take care of that, with the liens. And I was going to say something, but I forgot. I guess it goes back to my birth certificate and my age.
Well, while he's thinking about that, I just want to emphasize or re-emphasize the importance of you working with knowledgeable people such as Joey and First International Title when you're doing your real estate closings, because you want somebody who is in your corner and somebody who understands the process. And like Joey says, they take on that responsibility of ensuring that you don't close on a property that has 2-3 liens or whatever, or any kind of liens, because you don't want, when you're done and you have your keys and you're moving in, somebody comes and says, sorry, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so.
It's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Your responsibility. And if people, there's people, cash buyers, they say, oh, we don't want to do a title search. Huge mistake. First of all, a title company, we won't close with somebody like that because there's too much of a risk. But yes, hello. I see that gorgeous $30,000 kitchen. Now you
exactly.
Now you owe for it.
So you don't want that.
I wrote down what I was trying to remember real quick here.
Well, I like that one. So talk about that one.
Yeah, another one. I don't want to get too much in depth with the probate because I'm going to have another class on probate.
When is that class?
I am just putting it together. I talked to my attorney friend yesterday and a lender, and we're going to team up and do a probate class, which was amazing. The things but you could have a person pass away on the that was on the property. So now you have everything that goes into probate, or another lien on the property. I remember was a man that owed $17,000 in child support.
Ooh.
Oh, pay your
kid.
Pay your kid.
Say that again, because a lot of people don't know how much money in back child support. That's crucial. A lot of people don't think about that.
Right, and I remember it was $17,000 back child support, and couldn't sell the property until you had to you had to pay it.
Can you imagine?
And it was deducted from the top. So
can you imagine, guys? You're trying to sell your home and you cannot sell because you owe child support.
Right.
Who would have thought that not paying your child support, I mean, let's face it, you should pay your child support, but who would have thought that would prevent you from actually selling your home, right?
And people don't think that.
People don't think about that. They don't. I'm so happy that we're having this discussion because, again, I'm learning a lot of things as I go through this real estate process, but it's so important to be able to understand the things that can prevent you from selling and the things that can prevent you from buying, or even the things that can slow down the process. Because not all these liens will prevent you. Because like Joey says, you can collect, or whomever can collect at the end of the process when they do, the closing and so on. They'll put that money in the closing statements. But you have to know what's going on with your home.
And it's important to, it will delay a closing sometimes, not all the time, but there's times it will delay a closing. So right. we set a closing date. Nobody wants to extend a closing date.
Nope.
Seller doesn't want. They sold their home. The buyer doesn't want.
I don't want to delay a closing.
Right. And that we all get paid once it closes, but it's not necessarily. It's not about getting paid. It's making sure that our clients are taken care of. Absolutely. They walk away and say, oh my God, these guys were great. And they're going to go back to work and talk about how great their experience was.
Absolutely. And we want you guys to have a good experience. We want you guys to refer us to your friends and your family so that we can continue the process. We want you to come back to us when you're trying to buy another home, whether it's an investment property or your personal property, because we worked so well with you in the past. And, the process was so smooth for you. And like Joey said, we take on the brunt of most of the challenges in the real estate process so that you don't have to stress, because it's already a stressful process. Right? It's already so stressful.
But it doesn't, I love when people, when I get a contract, I call the buyer up and do an introduction, explain what title is and make them feel comfortable. And they think it's so stressful. We're here to help make it not stressful.
Absolutely.
During stress, it's life, but stress yourself for the 30 days until you get into your beautiful house.
And that's what I like to tell my clients. It's temporary pain for a permanent solution. I don't know if that's correct terminology that I used to use, but that's basically what it is. It's 30 days. 30 days stops.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see Sandrine is on here. My mother, I have to give her a thumbs up because the last time I did not call her by name. Joan McIntosh, that's mom.
Hi, Ma.
And Auntie Ruhema is on here as well. Thank you guys so much for joining. I truly, truly appreciate it.
There was your mother that said lie, and I'm like, oh, you don't lie.
No, she corrected me that lie. Yeah, that's my aunt, Auntie Ruhema.
Wait, it's not a bad experience. It really is good.
She's probably cracking up because she likes the for anybody who's watching who I have not called their name, please see you, because it tells me like the post. So it's not personal. One of the things that I want to is just the other, I was talking to Joey about this the other day. I was watching, I love HGTV. It's one of my favorite TV channels to watch. But I was watching one of these shows where someone was renovating their property, and they had called in a contractor because the contractor that they had worked with before completely messed up their property. Didn't do what they were supposed to do. And then they had to call this person because now the previous contractor had put a lien on their property. And so they wanted to get this other contractor in to fix it. But even that was a challenge because the previous contractor has a lien on their property, and it prevented them from, they didn't want to sell, but they needed their home because this was their personal home. So, it was just a back and forth thing. And it was really, really interesting to see the dynamics between the lawyers and from this side and the lawyers on that side. And it did slow down their process a bit. You know?
And you don't want that.
You don't want that. You really don't want that. Does anybody have any questions for us? I see quite a number of people on here. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Even with questions, feel free to reach out to us, either in the thingy box or whatever. You would type it.
The thingy box.
Technically challenged.
The comment box.
The comment box. I meant that. I needed the help. When I teach a class, I say, okay, it's thingy, doohickey, whatchamajigger, and everybody knows that it's.
And this is how he is all the time, guys. He's not putting on. This is just Joey.
Normal. And only one cup of coffee. But we'd love to hear what type of classes or chats we could do next. Yeah. If you want to know something about, I can't even think off the top of my head. Just throw it to us, and we're more than happy to talk about it.
Yeah, and even if you don't, like, even if you personally don't have a situation, maybe you know somebody else who has had a challenge, and you want to learn more about that situation or whatever, you can shoot us a text or an email. Joey's contact information is on the banner below. You can always call him, text him. He's very, very good with responding. You guys know my contact information by now, at least you should know. It's on every one of my posts. 740-591-8056 is my phone number, and you can call us, text us.
Weekends, I work on the weekends. You do.
I do work on the weekends.
Questions on the weekends. I'm fine with that. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. If there's anybody else who's on here, like I said, who I did not reach out to, please do not take it personal. I just don't see you. Okay? So thank you to Sandrine, my mom Joan, and to Rahima. Thank you guys so much for being here. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Joey, for doing this on such short notice with me. And I'll see you guys next week for another Friday Talks.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Thanks.